Love when Flick talks about surfing, about life, especially when she's talking about her home in Margaret River. And don't worry, fans out there, Felicity Palmatier will be joining us on the next run day, just a little bit under the weather. I just talked to Flick a moment ago, and she's feeling a lot better, and she's going to be ready to rip in with us in the commentary booth. As we dive into this one, once again, it's C.Simmers, L.Peterson, Bronte, Macaulay. One of the biggest heats that really popped out in the heat draw for so many reasons. She won the national title, being the first girl to do an air in the final. She did that again with an air reverse of the U.S. champs as we watch Bronte Macaulay get started. Nice clean rails on the back end. The local wild card showing her comfort factor as she packs in another big move on a steep section. And look at all those Bronte fans that have been waiting all day for this heat. One of the kindest souls you'll ever meet, has time for everybody. Multiple times, is pumped on this start. What'd you see?
This first turn really made me feel something. So much spray through out the back on that one. Came back around, beautiful smooth lines between Bronte's turns, and then up in the pocket, hard section to ride out of, but she knows this wave, and she knows that if you're on the tour, you can't make mistakes. Like Jake says, not on this level. And that first turn, just so much speed accelerated out of it. Again on the second. This third turn was just beautiful. Navigated the reef.
As L.Peterson is getting involved in this heat, drawing off the bottom. Nice connection there on that front side snap. Pushes hard, and she doesn't have water to ride away, but somehow she's skimming right over it. And sometimes it's just so cruel if they don't give you credit for those turns when she gets to the beach.
Oh, the stress levels are high watching these end section turns, but Lakey just tags this first section, comes around with a lot of speed here. Really nice second turn in the pocket and has to hit that end section. Great turn, by the way, but was on dry reef there for Lakey. Let's take a look a bit closer up. So she comes around this section and just kicks the fins out the back. This isn't the best turn on this wave. I truly believe it is this one. Comes up super vertical in the pocket. Fins would have gone out the back on that one. Comes around, generates more speed, kicks it and fins out the back. But this is where the reef really rears its head and comes to play. But she knows she has to be committed. Lakey, she's looking to get above the cut.
Paddling for this, though, is C.Simmers, last year's world champ, the youngest of all time to get that trophy. Flowing out front, how smooth was that rail hook? Total control on that Chris Borst design. And she'll just stuff a couple turns in there, might as well.
It's a real talent that I don't think anybody could have. Let's take a look at this replay, though, of Katie. Beautiful drift of the fins on that first turn, comes around, holds that carve all the way down, so really digs in the rail, and then she just goes, all right, here's 3 more. Right at the end there, lays back into another.
Any wave left, but she kept on hunting down sections. Here's Bronte Macaulay lighting up that section and hopping out. And Bronte back to business.
Katie really just looking to get a score on the board here, but Bronte, 2 turns. I just love that style we're so familiar with of Bronte Macaulay. Comes up, belts that one in the pocket from the goofy footer. She's going to get out. So considering the talent she's got in this heat in Lakey and Katie.
Now a nice little chip in for L.Peterson. Little wrap there for the surfer from Santa Barbara, living in San Clemente these days. Throws down the whip on the oncoming section and rides away. There's some magic in this. Here we go again, Lakey's last wave.
Yeah, here's this magic we're talking about. Carves back in the pocket here, steep section, but see how she generates so much speed, and that turn really quick and whippy in the pocket.
Not only did she show up at this event going, hang on, I feel better, but she was able to go on to win and also beat Steph Gilmore for the first time along the way. Nice carve and back to the top for one of the most creative surfers on tour.
Love that, and that makes so much sense for Bronte. She's got so much to give. Katie, though, up on our screens, that carve was just insane. So beautiful, held it for so long, fumbled, but got to the section with the finish. Let's take another look at this carve. Look at that fin. That is completely out of the water. That is exactly what you want to be able to lay into that other rail and hold it all the way down here for C.Simmers. Like you said, one of the most creative surfers, buries a bit of rail there, recovers beautifully. up and over that section. Even though she got to it late with the finish, you could tell she wanted to click that little bit more, but the damage was...
C.Simmers just responding to main break, and now Bronte B.Macaulay has the whitewater on her heels. The local here from just down the road at Gracetown is trying to tidy up this tail end of this wave. 1 foot left in it, but so many steps as she's running out of water. And she knows how to stay light on her feet and then gently step off. I just love how quickly she was able to get back up to the lip for the second turn as well. Bronte had some downtime, but then she started swinging.
Yeah, it was stuck behind that section. You could tell she was trying to highline it, but got super vertical, got a carve in, and then she just hit this staircase here. You can tell she's used to surfing this way because...
On first, waiting on last of Bronte, who's now chasing a 5.5 for the lead. And now Lakey down in third, couple of fours. With now 12:40 on the clock. Paddle happen here, whitewater rolling in for the Californians, just up and out. L.Peterson. Beauty of surfing is the beauty of life and the whole yin and yang experience as we look at Lakey trying to change this one around, still in third. Just pushing down the line, a big wind up. There's a nice snap from L.Peterson. And she'll step off. She's like, hang on, I haven't even thought about this lifestyle yet, as we watch her last wave.
Yeah, so floats this first section. This is the turn. This is the reason I like this new board. Beautiful drift of the fins up the top. So much speed carried.
Of just an instant connection with the ocean. C.Simmers goes straight down.
Yeah, very uncharacteristic there from Katie.
We'll see if she gets another chance. This one will go to Bronte B.Macaulay. And she'll just lay down. So yeah, doing some studying, but her big announcement was...
How? What? Asking so many questions. Here we go, replay of Bronte. She goes down as well.
On the jersey very soon as we see Bronte go down, then C.Simmers got that line drawing. Oh my goodness, that was a huge effort to maybe throw down one of the biggest turns of the day. As a world champ, she's setting the bar for what's coming next. The tour's in great hands. Lakey, inspired by the youthful movement, coming through that first turn and finding an end section to work with. It's a wild one and really hard to ride out of. She's really had some tough lines over that inside rock shelf. With now 15 seconds to go, things are looking promising for Katie and Bronte with waves on the way. And it will be Bronte B.Macaulay swinging for the lead. Oh, how cool was that bottom turn? Driving off the bottom, attacking the lip again. Crowd is going wild for this wild card, and she knows she's got to get out of there. Very close to that end section. Bronte just popping up now.
Yeah.
They're absolutely going for it.
I feel like that's probably not the first time she's come into contact with that reef, but there's that first opening swoop here for Bronte. Comes back around. Nice vertical hit in the pocket, and again, she knew what she had to do, but pressed that eject button so quickly.
Just anticipating the numbers, and they are in Bronte's favor as she gets on the Red Bull ski with Perry Hatchett. 13.13 combined total, and the wild card turns in a huge victory on her comeback to the championship tour.